The 49ers are officially the number 2 seed, and we have finally found out who they're playing next week in Levi Stadium. The number 7 seed, the Seattle Seahawks. Are you kidding me? Third time. This is going to be a battle. Oh, my God. What's up, faithful? We are playing the Seattle Seahawks in the wild card next week. Can you imagine? Can you imagine this? 49ers, Seahawks, round 3. Remember what Fred Warner said? We hate these. I'm hyped up, man. We hate Seattle. This is a rivalry game. This is it. You throw the record out the window. You throw everything out the window, and you go, and you play. This is a blood match. This is a rivalry. Pete the Cheat. You got Fred Warner, who, remember last time we played him? He threw the most legendary pregame speech. He was cussing them out. It's crazy. These teams hate each other. They hate each other. Third time in a row. Can we beat a team 3 times in a row? I know last year it didn't end well, but this is a different season. It's a different year. It is something you got to think about 3 times in a row to beat a team. It gets into your head, but hey, we'll see what happens. I think that it's going to be a hell of a game. But this time, the team has to come into our stadium, into Levi Stadium. 49ers get to host a playoff game, and the game is next Saturday, 1:30 p.m. Next Saturday. I can't wait. Seattle 49ers, this is it. This is it. Rivalry match, man. NFC West. The 2 teams from the NFC West showing it's a showdown. I can't believe it, man. It's going to be crazy. Raphael says it's going to rain on Saturday. I don't know. I haven't heard that. I hope it doesn't. It's been raining a lot here in the Bay. That definitely is a fact if it rains. Who wins versus the Niners and Philly? I don't know right now. We got to focus on the Seattle Seahawks. The playoffs, 1 game at a time, my boy. Life of Austin, it's 1 game at a time. We have to focus on the Seattle Seahawks. You can't think about Philly. Can't think about any other team right now. We can't think about Philly. Why are we thinking about Philly? We got to think about the Seattle Seahawks, the team that stands in front of us right now. In order to win and make it to the playoffs, the 49ers have to beat the Seattle Seahawks. That's it. Bottom line. Bottom line. If they want a chance to even get to that point, they got to take care of business. Home game. And this is it, man. Last time we played them, we had Mooney Ward. He was so physical on DK Metcalf. They got Geno Smith bamboozled, flabbergasted. They couldn't let him run, right? And that was the key. The D-line was getting all over Geno. We cannot let Geno use his legs. That is the kryptonite for the 49ers, a mobile quarterback. These 2 teams know each other. Pete Carroll knows, Kyle Shanahan. You got to throw the kitchen sink out there. It's definitely going to be a battle, man, because these 2 teams, they know each other. They've played twice already. This is the 3rd game. And right now, at this point, it's you throw the records out the season. Geno Smith, clean slate. We don't know what he's going to do in the playoffs. I really haven't seen. Geno Smith has no track record in the playoffs. But at the same time, Brock Purdy, rookie quarterback, has no track record in the playoffs. So this is it's a fresh start. It's a whole new season. You throw everything out the window. You throw everything out the window. Playoff Purdy, says Nia. I'm hyped up to see what playoff Purdy can do. I don't know, man. Whew. Optics says, I'm nervous, but I feel good about us. I feel the same way. I'm a little nervous. It's the playoffs. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you I'm not nervous. I'm not worried about these teams because I've been confident all, through this win streak. I'm not, but it is a playoff game, and there is that factor of if you mess up, if you screw up a little bit, you lose the game, and you can't play next week. You got to win this game. There's no more. We'll get them next week. This is it. Do or die. 4 games, the Niners have to win. If they want to win the Super Bowl, they got to finish the season on a 4-game winning streak. And it starts against Seattle. It's not going to be easy. You think Seattle's not mad? You think they're not pissed? You think they don't want revenge? They want revenge. They want revenge on the 49ers for beating them. twice this season. And usually the Seattle Seahawks have had our number. That was with Russell Wilson. It's a whole different story with Geno. But he has had a good season. Geno Smith has had a phenomenal season this year, Pro Bowl quarterback, as he should be. But he had his 2 worst games against the Niners. Can they keep it up? Can they make it a third game? That is going to be the key. They have to get pressure on Geno. The defense has to be able to play good secondary. Again, last time they played, DK Metcalf was a non-factor for the most part because Mooney Ward was really getting under his skin. And then the other guy that the Niners really need, he missed today's game with the back injury, is Dre Greenlaw. I know Kyle said that he should have been able to play this week if it was a playoff game. So I'm expecting Dre Greenlaw back next week in the playoffs, but we need Dre Greenlaw. He's the Seahawk killer, right? He's the Seahawk killer. They absolutely need Dre Greenlaw. My man 49ers media says, I wish they would play the Packers instead. Why? To me, it doesn't matter. Both teams would have been tough. It's the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers coming in on a winning streak. The Seattle Seahawks have a losing streak against the Niners, and so does Aaron Rodgers. Either way, the 49ers have their work cut out because they have to keep a win streak going, no matter who they would have played of. I got to give shout out to the Detroit Lions, though. Man, they played a hell of a game. They came out there. They really had nothing to gain from this in terms of playoffs because they were knocked out already before the game started. But they played spoiler. They had pride on the line. Dan Campbell was a phenomenal head coach, and he put it down, and he took out the Packers, and that's what he wanted. He wanted to say, hey, if we're not going to make it, you guys aren't going to make it. You're in our division, and he came out and played it. He coached a hell of a game. Those young Lions are going to be a good team next season. They got a young defense on the rise with Hutchinson, and they got a great offense, man. And shout out to Jared Goff. He really turned things around this season. So I got to give credit to the Lions for knocking out the Packers and allowing the Seahawks to come and play us next week in Levi Stadium, Saturday, 1:30 p.m. That's what's going to happen. So, again, man, I really got to tip my hat off to the Lions, man. They're going to be a good team next season. I wish the Lions were the team we were playing. I really do. I really think that the Lions deserve to make the playoffs. But at the beginning of the season, they shit the bed, unfortunately. So they turned it around a little too late. And they did lose a game before this week. So, they got to win those games. You got to win. But shout out to the Lions, man. They didn't lay down, man. They came out and played what they had to do. Unlike the Giants, who, they said, hey, you know what, this game doesn't matter. You gotta have some pride on the line. Like the Niners. We played the Cardinals today. Cardinals came out tough. It's a rivalry game, division game. They didn't want to lay down. They played tough. J.J. Watt's last game, he came out, incredible energy, phenomenal, man. Shout out to J.J. Watt. Played his ass off. Hell of a career. I got so much respect for my boy J.J. Watt, man. Hell of a career. Ended it against the Niners. And you know what, man? The Cardinals really came out, and they gave us everything they could at the beginning of the game. Niners made second-half adjustments, and that's the type of team they are. They're a team that can make second-half adjustments. They played so good in the second half. And if the 49ers can play that good in the playoffs, there's nobody's going to beat them. Nobody's going to beat them. Let's see. Let's get to some of these questions. A Goated says, how am I feeling about Lenore right now? I got a lot of respect on Lenore. He's really turned it around this season. I know he had a tough stretch of games to finish the year. He's a second-year cornerback. You got to realize that. They're going to pick on him. Now he's got to step up. If he's going to be cornerback 2 coming into the playoffs, teams are going to test him, and he's got to really be able to clutch up. But I like Lenore. He's been a solid player for the most part this season. Obviously, he hasn't had his best couple of weeks the last few weeks. But, hey, I like Lenore. He really stepped up compared to where he was last year. He did deal with a lot of stuff this offseason. Or last year, and that's what he said this offseason. So I got respect for him. He's young. He's going to learn. He's going to have some bad games. But now in the playoffs, you hope he's learned from those, and you hope that he's not a liability. And right now, he really is the Achilles of this defense. And I know teams are going to pick on him. But you got to learn quick. You got to grow up quick. And he's got to be able to clutch up coming in the playoffs. But I'd be silly if I sat here and told you that he wasn't having a bad, couple of weeks. But for the most part, he was pretty solid coming into the last couple of weeks. But, yeah, he's been a liability. Like today, he let up some big passes. Last week, he did the same thing. And teams are picking on him. But, again, before these last few weeks, he was playing really good. So hopefully he can get back on track. Niners got to figure that out. Secondary's a big part of us in the playoffs. If the Niners want to win, they have to have good secondary play. But the thing is, it's crazy because the Niners actually led the league. They were tied with the Steelers in total interceptions. So it's not to say that the secondary is horrible. They do have a weak link on that right side at cornerback, or the cornerback 2 spot ever since Emmanuel Mosley went down. And that's tough, man. That injury, again, as I've said through the season, has been the biggest injury that we've faced all year. And, we've been trying to find our identity at that cornerback 2 spot. We know Mooney Ward's so good, but they're not going to throw it to Mooney Ward. And when he was out there last time we played Seattle, he got under the skin of DK, man. They made this grown man so upset. He was so pissed off. Him and Greenlaw and all these guys getting under his skin. And that's what they have to do. They got to get in the skin of DK. It's all mind games at this point. But I really hope Lenore can turn it around in the playoffs. We're going to have him. So we'll see. We'll see. Tommy says the AJ Green touchdown was PI. He pushed off. I agree. But hey, they're not going to call that. Sometimes get away with some of those sometimes. And sometimes in the playoffs, I'm not going to lie to you, the refs kind of make some weird calls. Sometimes the refs call things, sometimes they don't. So the playoffs, you don't know what kind of refs you're going to get. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, we just got to play good and limit the mistakes. And that's the key. In the playoffs, the 49ers have to limit mistakes. You can't throw picks. You can't have fumbles. You have to capitalize. You have to be the ones getting the turnovers, the mistakes, and everything. And one thing, too, is that's what I've noticed out of the 49ers with Brock Purdy since he's been the quarterback. They don't turn the ball over that much. And when they do, it's like, holy crap, the Niners turn the ball over? What? This man, Brock Purdy, does not make mistakes. And when he does, it's very few, and he bounces really quickly off a mistake. They haven't made a lot of mistakes. They haven't turned the ball over with Brock Purdy at quarterback. Now, I know the playoffs are a different monster, and this is the test. Can Brock Purdy play the same that he played in the regular season? He was really good. 13 touchdowns throwing. He set a 49ers rookie record throwing touchdowns, 13. That's crazy. And he started 6 games, or he played 6 games, started 5. Crazy to me that how good he's been. But now the playoffs are going to come. There's going to be a lot of pressure. Pete Carroll knows. Pete Carroll's going to throw the pressure all over Brock. Can he handle it? I hope so. He's been very poised. He's been very calm. And that is the one thing that I've noticed out of Brock is how calm he is as a rookie quarterback. This man is a rookie quarterback, the number 7 pick in the draft. And he is so calm. He plays like a 10-year veteran. And he keep it up. I hope so. S. Flood says, Ward needs to clamp down DK again. I agree. That's going to be a key matchup. A Boogie says, y'all acting like we play in the LOB. Russ, it's not the same Seahawks. They're not the same. Like, they're limping into the play. Let's get one thing right. I think y'all got to realize the 49ers are not limping into the playoffs. They're very healthy. They got Elijah Mitchell back today, and he was amazing today. First game back. Debo was back today to shake the rust off. Got CMC. This team is very healthy. The only guy that really has, missed game today that we needed was Dre Greenlaw and Aaron Banks. We need those 2 guys back. But for the most part, this team is healthy. Seattle is limping in, man. They just did not look like a team that's going to win a playoff. They barely beat the Rams. They barely beat the Rams today. Now, I know the playoffs are a different story, but the Seattle Seahawks barely beat the Rams. So I'm going to say to you, they took them to overtime. They barely beat the Rams today. Anthony says, living in the PNW, all my friends are talking today. They took it at ish today, huh? Seattle fans are going to be talking all week. I'm not going to talk enough. I'm not going to talk trash this week because I got to stay humble. It's not a bad. I learned my lesson. I'm not going to talk trash this week. I'm just going to keep the receipts because if we beat them on Saturday, which I'm very confident of, we pulling up receipts. We smoking a Seattle pack. We going crazy. But keep yourself humble. Throw them the record. We're 13-4, number 1 seed in the NFC, undefeated in the NFC West. Number 2 in the NFC, sorry, and number 1 in the NFC West. Undefeated in the NFC West. First time since 1997. This team is great. Now, again, the playoffs are a different monster, but I believe the 49ers are arguably the best team in the NFC. I don't think anybody can touch us. But again, playoff football is a little different. People get nervous. You start acting a little different. They got to handle their business, and they got to play the way they played in that second half today. That is 49er football. Run the ball with this amazing running back room. Elijah Mitchell, Jordan Mason, CMC, George Kittle unlocked. Brock Purdy's unlocked George Kittle like I said he would. People thought it was crazy. I remember it was right before the Seattle game. I think it was Monday night. And I remember I was sitting here. I was talking, and I said, George Kittle's going to be unlocked by Brock Purdy. Somebody in the comments was like, Brock Purdy, he only threw to him 2 times. But if you watch that game, the game before Seattle, I remember I was like, look, he's finding him. He's finding him, but he just wasn't open. He kept looking at him. I was like, okay, I saw that. I think they're going to try to get the ball to Kittle. And he exploded in that Seattle game. And ever since then, it's been the people's tight end going crazy. And in the red zone, that's why the Niners are scoring more, because the red zone efficiency is better. They see Kittle and he throws them the ball all the time. Every time. It's like, boom, George Kittle is going to get a touchdown most of the time in the red zone. And like most of the times in the red zone, you know Brock Purdy's going to throw him that touchdown. It increases the red zone efficiency. Like, it is crazy. That's his safety blanket. He looks for Kittle all the time, and it's amazing to see. So, Showboat says, does the number 2 seed play on Saturday? Yes, they play on Saturday, 1:30. I should probably post that here soon. But the 49ers will play Seattle in Levi Stadium Saturday at 1:30 p.m. That's when we play. So, yep, there it is. There it is. That's it. 1:30 p.m. Saturday, Fox. Gonna be fun. Quest for 6 starts Saturday. Yes, sir. I can't wait. I'm hyped up, man. I'm excited. We got a great team. We got a phenomenal team. Number 1 seed in the NFC West. The number 2 seed in the NFC. Number 1 team in the NFC West. And again, this team is incredible, man. They started 3-4. October 23rd, they were 3-4. It's January 8th, 2023, and they're 13-4. 10 games in a row. 10 games in a row with a phenomenal season, but the job's not done. It's just getting started. The job is just getting started. I can't wait. I'm going to hop on a couple other people's pod today. I got Rohan. I'm going to hop on his stream in a few minutes here. But I just want to say, man, let's get this dub. Seattle, we got a lot of things to talk about this week. I'm excited. 49ers versus Seattle Seahawks, Saturday, 1:30 p.m., Levi Stadium. I hope I see you guys there. We got to go in there. We got to yell. We got to scream. Wear your red. Do not let Seattle come into the Levi's and beat us. We got to come in there and handle our business. We got to get this. We got to protect home field. We got to come in and dominate. The only team that that we may play on the road is Philly if we make it that far. But it starts this Saturday. We can't talk about Philly. We can't talk about all these other teams until we handle business. And it's week by week. It's a week by week league now. That's how it's been all year. And now the playoffs come. Any given Saturday, Sunday, Monday, whatever, it's going to be a battle. And Seattle Seahawks, I'm not going to take them lightly because they're going to come out. They're going to play for they want revenge, man. They want revenge. The Niners have to handle their business, but I think they will. Brock Purdy, and you got to remember, CMC, man, he's changed the game for this team. Ever since he came over, this offense has been phenomenal. They've been scoring like 32 points a game with Brock and CMC and everybody. They didn't even have Debo for certain weeks, man. And now he's back. And now Elijah Mitchell's back. This offense can carry this team. And that's the difference between other years is the defense carried, right? The defense was carrying, but now the 49ers offense can carry the load, and then the defense can get some rest. It's a very scary team that the 49ers have. These NFC teams better beware, baby. Quest for 6 is coming. I hope to God that we get our Super Bowl this year. Let's go, baby. I love you. I'm going to hop on Rohan's channel. I'll see you there. I love you. Bang, bang. Nana gang.